Before we begin this episode, we want to give a shout out to all of our patrons on patreon.com/bitterbrownfems. A little bit as $1 can get you an archive of almost a decade of content, including longer episodes, video episodes, bonus episodes, live streams, and so on. But a special shout out to Christian G, Evelyn P, and Cassandra G, who are in our BBF BFF tier. Thank y'all so much for always holding us down. And if you want to support us, there are tiers that are like $1, $5, $10. And all of them get you all these cool different things, including bonus episodes for the $10 tier. The link will be in the description, but that's patreon.com/bitterbrownfems. Let's start the show. All right, let's do it live, y'all. Um, hello, hello, hello. I am one of your hosts, Ruben, coming to you from Portland, Oregon.
And this is Cassandra coming to you from El Paso.
And yeah, welcome to another episode of Bitter Brown Femmes. I think today's recession indicator is that the youth are not having hoe phases anymore. Um, as one of a Twitter, there was an essay about how everybody's fighting to be hot, but nobody's fighting to be sexy anymore. So like everybody's so obsessed with like skincare and like, thinspo and fitness and anorexic Twitter's back on the timeline apparently, but nobody's like trying to actually fuck.
Well,
Thoughts.
that's their right. If
That's
they
the
don't
right.
want, that's their right.
They're saving themselves till marriage to their trad wives. Have you seen that girl with that like bootleg Lana Del Rey song that's like, I wish you loved me?
Oh, Jesse Murph.
Yeah. Like 1965, I'd even give up some rights.
Um, Jesse, that's a song I would expect from her.
Oh, you
Let me
followed
see.
her career before this.
I know who she is. She's a
I
country singer.
I'd never heard of
She's
her.
20 years old. I
She's
didn't
not
know
20. She looks
she's
old as
20 years old.
shit.
I just Googled her. She's 20 years
Oh
old.
my God. I thought
I'm
she was like way older. Damn, life comes at you fast.
I think she's a country singer unless she like
I mean, that
yeah,
sounds
like
like
country. It says
folky
country, pop, and
country
trap while
trap
rooted in hip hop trap.
in hip hop.
Yeah, there's a video of her with cornrow.
Oh, shut up.
I've only ever heard one song with her before, and it was a country song, and so like I just assumed she just made country music, but
Yeah.
apparently I don't know what's going on.
I
I don't not really I don't know. I don't
she just
know.
I thought she was British. She looks like if Amy Winehouse like birthed it like Cher Lloyd. Um, yeah. Well, that's what the kids want nowadays, apparently, with all these Amish people also going viral on the TikTok. Um, yeah. I mean, that said, according to like USA polls, um, there has been there have been some interesting swings in how Gen Z identifies as far as like the political lines go. Uh, in this last poll, 18% more men of the Gen Z age identify as Republican, whereas 21% more Gen Z women identify as Democrat. So
That's not surprising.
yeah, but it only took them 6 months or so to make this giant swing. Like,
Like Gen Z men are jumped to Republican numbers or
yeah,
jumped
or that,
and
yeah, and that Gen Z women jump to Democrat numbers.
mhm.
I guess I need to know how young Gen Z is because I just assume that they're already all in their 20s. Uh, And
That's
if that's
yeah,
so, like, isn't it like, girl? Oh no, they're 13. So they're
they're
still
still 13.
they're still
Yeah.
figuring out their lives. That's fair, children. That's fair. You're still figuring out so much of your situation, but figure it out faster. Um, I mean, the millennial voting bloc is still supposedly the most progressive voting bloc and the biggest one, but we haven't been able to accomplish shit. So I don't know what that means in terms of anything. Um, what do you think it means, Cassandra?
Now we're all depressed as shit.
True. Yeah, I mean, we came into consciousness during like the recession. I mean, one of my earliest like political memories is like the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and I was like, I could not have been 8. And then like 3 years later was like 9/11, or like 4 years later or something, something short. And then the recession. Yeah, womp. Um,
I don't know. I'm very reluctant to talk about anything to do with Gen Z just because I don't want to come off as a bitter old bitch.
oh, I'm
That's
okay.
like that's like critiquing the youth or
I'll
people younger, I don't want to be that person. So
I'll
I'm
critique their
like,
conservativeness. I will say
they
that.
do. I mean, so do millennials, but I think as a whole, I would agree that but it's also look at what they're being fed. You know what I mean? Like Gen Z boys, it's like they're growing up with these like fucking loser incel men online and like this trad wife thing. I don't know. There's like, I would like to do a more deep dive on that, but right now, you know.
I mean, didn't we grow up with like traditional things in the media too? Like, it's not like we
Mm,
had like these queer progressive people on TV.
no, that's true. I don't know. I think that millennials are like we started using the internet, whereas Gen Z has like it's just all there.
Yeah, I
I
did
think the
see, yeah, I did see this like essay recently, this video essay that basically talked about how like Gen Z is slowly getting like over social media. Like the essay was like, why don't my friends post on Instagram anymore? And a part of it is that like all these social sites are becoming just like ad spaces
hmm
or like traditional media where like if you want to share something with your friends, you do it in your story, right? Something that's not permanent because putting something on like their permanent timeline seems like too high stakes. And like what is the point of putting it up? Like if you're not gonna get a shit ton of likes, and then that creates another problem of like okay, getting a shit ton of likes feels good, but the only way to like uphold that is to continue cultivating like a following and like the
hmm
youth. And there's like this split and like the youth mentality of like, yes, I want to have a following. I want to make myself into a product and make my money that way. And there's another side of folks who are like, no, that looks so like tough and like destructive. Which I think is honestly like a healthy way to look at social media. I am worried for I have a dozen nieces and nephews, and I worry a lot about their social media consumption sometimes.
I don't know any youth, any people younger than me that I can be like, oh, my nephews and my nieces are on social media. Like, I don't know what that looks like for young people. You know what I mean? But I know that I think what we had, like when I think back in high school and like social media or blogging or whatever, is like for me it was like LiveJournal and then MySpace and Facebook and Twitter, like you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it was like slowly.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine having access to social media if I was in high school right now, like the amount or like growing up with that is and everyone watching what you're doing or feeling like that you need to do all that. It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I started with AOL chat rooms. Like you couldn't even see each other.
Mm.
So yeah, there was a build up. I honestly didn't even join Instagram for a very long time. I didn't even have an iPhone until Verizon made
Yeah,
me like force
right.
me to like switch.
I
Because
was Team BlackBerry and Sidekicks.
I loved my
Um,
sidekick. I
I,
really loved my sidekick.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh, you know that like the reason that those slide type of slide phones don't exist anymore is like a patent issue. It's not like we lost the technology or people were not wanting them. It's just like that a certain company was holding like that patent so that people couldn't do it anymore. And it
Hmm.
was holding it hostage. Because I remember when my final sidekick, and I don't even think it was a real one. I think it was like a bootleg sidekick. When it finally like gave out on me, it was cheaper to get an iPhone at the time. I think they gave it to me for free or something like that, or like something like free or pay this much a month for this long, or you have to pay like 500 up front for a new sidekick. And it was just like, I had like 2 cents to rub together at the time, so I had to go with the iPhone. And I remember it being so like annoying for the longest time. I had it on grayscale for a very long time. Yeah, to make it like less appealing to constantly touch. But as far as the use, like it even worries me that so many kids are on like Coco Melon all the time. I don't
Oh, I
know.
know.
Like
I don't know.
like kids should be allowed to be bored. Like that's when your imagination does its thing.
It's hard.
To have an imagination.
It's hard. I think it's hard for people to sit with, let your kids be bored. We should absolutely let kids be bored. But I understand as mom, like, I don't know, I'm also bored. I struggle with boredom. Lately, I feel like I've been struggling with it more, where I'm just like, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. And I know it's like my friends are like, yeah, like you said, it's like do something, right? Like this is your time to get a hobby and like be creative and do this. And it's just like it's hard for me. So I can't imagine telling a child who has so much energy to just sit there and be bored. But we definitely, everyone needs to sit with boredom, especially children.
Oh my God, you're like your child's gonna go into middle school soon, right?
He's been
So,
in middle school.
oh, so longer school days now.
No, the same. That was
Yeah.
last year. Yeah.
Oh, last year was a transition.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
you have
every
more time to yourself now
Mhm.
to be bored. Do you
No,
find yourself like unsteady, like hands not knowing what to do?
sometimes like I work and then when there's like one hour, like if I have any free time where I'm just like I don't have my child and I don't work, I don't know what to do with myself. It's weird. Like I'm just like I I don't know what to do. It's
God.
weird. It sucks.
Mm. You know what doesn't suck though? The fact that Ozzy Osbourne died. Um, and
That doesn't suck.
no, that's perfectly fine. Like girls, I don't know why everybody was crying about Ozzy Osbourne and
Yeah, it
Hulk
was a
Hogan.
lot. I didn't even know that many people cared
Me
on my
either. I was
timeline. I was
like,
like, okay.
okay, bitches.
And that's not even a like, when celebrities die and you're like trying to judge people. Like, if you liked them, that's cool, whatever. But I really didn't know that many people were gonna like so many stories and shares, and I
Oh,
was just like, okay.
I mean, the Osbourne reality
And like,
TV
didn't
show.
his wife sit up here like 2 months ago telling everyone to revoke Kneecap's license,
Oh yeah.
passports, like, and some people were like, no, well, that's just Sharon. It's like he's an
No.
adult. He What do you mean?
He performed in
Like,
Israel like during the what's it called? The banning, the what is it called? When folks were trying to like ban going to Israel and he encouraged other people to do so as well. Like this is not somebody who's free of sin or whatever just because like he like fucking messed his brains up with acid or whatever the fuck he's did for 30 years in a row. Um no, this is like a hard human who like had no sympathy for like Palestinians. Like it's the same discussion with like Joan Rivers, who, I didn't know was a Zionist until like her death. And
That
I
makes perfect
grew
sense. She
up.
was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but as a kid, you see this like
Yeah.
snarky old woman and you think diva. And I used to
Hmm.
love Joan Rivers. Like I consumed all her media as a kid. But then apparently like one of her last tweets before it was deleted was like making fun of the bombs that were dropping on Palestinian
Hmm.
children. And then she died like the next day. So like that's not somebody to mourn really. Like I don't know. Like if I don't see. I will never understand the don't speak ill of the dead shit. And that same shit goes for Ozzy Osbourne, who like brain dead or not, like still did fucked up shit. And Hulk Hogan too. Where are these wrestling fans coming
Hell
from?
yeah, brother. Hulk Hogan. I don't know anyone that was like like not hell yeah, that was like sad or not
There
on my
was like
timeline.
a couple posts, and I'm like, not only was
Oh
he,
yeah, from the fellow racists. Yeah.
not only was he like a racist, but he was like a union buster. Like he lost
Was he?
friends. Yeah, he lost friends in the WWE from like fellow wrestlers who were like
Oh
trying to
my God.
unionize, and because he was like the superstar, he like broke their union, and people wouldn't fuck with him after that. So, like, just read up on your people. Like, I already know one for me that is just gonna have to go out silently. It's gonna be Madonna, because she's a horrible person, but she did impact my music taste growing up. Um,
That is a hot mess.
yeah. Um, it's not a hot mess though. Mexico, Shyam, Claudia, recently forced tech employers like Uber and Lyft and Postmates and stuff. Like now they are officially employers, not just contractors. So all their drivers and delivery people have to have like paid vacation, uh, profit sharing, social security, pensions, uh, stable work hours, and so forth. So if Mexico can do it, so can we. Do you know anybody who's done any of those type of jobs before?
In Mexico?
Or here?
Yeah, some. My dad does, or I don't know, I don't think he does anymore, but he was doing like Uber.
Yeah, it's tough, and they don't make that much. Like, I mean, it takes a lot. Like Uber and Lyft in San Francisco, maybe now they do, but in like Portland, it's tough for folks to make their money. I mean, I know a couple folks who've done it. Uh, it was technically one of my niece's first jobs. Um, I have adult nieces and nephews. Oh my God. Um, yeah. So if like some place like Mexico can do it in like which is in North America, like it can be done here too. And that's important now as certain industries are being, destroyed, such as like taxis, and, even restaurant industries. Um, Not to mention like retail jobs, which have you heard of like this app called like Shift, I think it is.
Mm.
Um, it's like this app that you can sign up for and there'll be like shifts that you can pick up at retail stores.
That's
Uh,
wild.
yeah. Uh, that's wild. Like that's just a way for corporations to put like the responsibility of like healthcare and like employment onto like a third party. Um, and the less responsibility these companies have is like the more money they make, but at the same time, the more money they make, the more they can invest to further destroy like whatever labor protections we have. Um, and like let's not forget that like in the US they treat corporations like humans. So all these things matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which was something I wanted to talk about is I think it was last week. And I'm reading this just from ACLU's website, just so I can
Mhm.
read it to y'all. Another executive order from Trump, of course. And the order is titled Ending Crime and Disorder on American Streets, which directs the Justice Department to expand indefinite forced treatment for people with mental health disabilities or substance use disorder and those living on the streets who, quotation marks, cannot care for themselves. So essentially, the order calls for sweeping federal data collection on unhoused people and those with mental health disabilities, which raises concerns about surveillance and privacy and all that, but also it's I guess like there was like a quote where Trump said instead of like putting unhoused people that need housing into housing, like they need to be institutionalized into rehab. That's going to address the problem instead of getting them directly into housing. And so obviously this is just another way to criminalize unhoused people and institutionalize people with mental health disabilities and people with substance use disorder.
And it's also like ignores the fact that like there's a lot of people who end up homeless who like don't have substance abuse
Hmm.
issues. Like we are
Or
all,
disabilities.
yeah, we are all like a couple of bad decisions or missed paychecks away from shit like that. Like, so it basically, it's not only like ableist and, uh,
Classist and
yeah, it's, it's classes. It's anti-poor essentially. Like the minute you can't pay for a living somewhere, which like the cost of rent just keeps going up and up. Um, at this point in many metropolises, like you can't live alone. Um, and you're better off like partnered or like heavily roommated. Um, if you don't have all those situations, then you're basically shit out of luck. And on like the concept of like roommates, like I've been thinking a lot about how when I was a kid, and social media or like maybe like the social ostracization wasn't as big. Yeah, I lived with like 5+ people sometimes. Um, but the rent was still cheap. Like I remember one of my college apartments was like a 3 bedroom for like 1,400, and I split it with like five other people.
Mhm.
Uh, And that type of shit just doesn't exist in like big cities anymore.
The first
Oh,
time I had moved out, I had like two roommates and my rent was $100.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
sir. Um, yep.
Oh my God.
A whole meal at Whataburger was $5.
I mean, I was making 875, eventually 925 as a manager at a fast food joint, and I was making my rent somehow, even though I only made like $1,000 a month tops. On the best months, I made $1,000 a month. And that's just not, I mean, minimum wage, 15 bucks. I went to a Burgerville this weekend. My friends were from out of town, and like a burger with fries and a shake, and then a little kid's meal together was like 30 something bucks.
Mm,
My mom used to feed six of us on like 10 bucks at like Burger King.
right.
And we had
My
a,
mom, yeah, ours was the dollar menu from Wendy's, which was like $2, $3 tops
I've still never been to
for
a
a whole meal.
Wendy's.
Well, I don't go to Wendy's now. This was when I was a child, but I don't fuck with Wendy's anymore.
Oh
They're
shit.
trash. They're
They are.
trash.
I
They
don't know
are.
anything about them. I've never had a Wendy's meal.
Well, I hadn't had Wendy's in like over 15 years. I don't know when the last time I had Wendy's, and I had some, I think, last year, and I was just like,
Ugh.
what the fuck is this? And it's overpriced and it was small and it was bad. So I was just like, never coming here again.
In and Out in California. I was in LA recently and I went to In and Out And my friend pointed out something about the patties is that like before the patty used to fill up the whole bun
Yeah, that's how it was at Wendy's. It was like the bun was like way bigger than the patty,
and the
which
patties
just
was
was
spread
weird.
out. Yeah, so if you order a double double, because the patty was like say like 2/4 size, they would like stack them sideways so that it filled up the patty. Um, and I'm just like, what in the recession? Um,
Hard out here.
yeah, it's rough out here. I don't even know how we got here. Oh yeah, homelessness, the executive
Yeah.
bill.
And homelessness is a policy failure. It's not on the individual. And so pushing or forcing people into institutions is wrong on so many levels. Like it just doesn't work. It, there's so much that can go wrong. Like someone can be held there for years. They're not getting the proper treatment. A lot of those places are abusive. Like there's so much wrong with that when we know like the answer to people being unhoused is getting them fucking housing, getting them medical treatment, healthcare, food,
Jobs.
like this is just a way to continue to criminalize and lock people up instead of addressing the actual problems of why it's happening.
Yeah, like people have to ask themselves, like, why is it so easy for us to incarcerate, essentially incarcerate, even though it's like a mental institution, quote unquote, but
It's
they're
still,
it's
yeah.
against their will. This is incarceration by another name. Um, Instead of like housing people, right? This like, this mental institution stay, which now that I say it out loud reminds me of like, you know, back in the days, when they had those mental institutions, the asylums, where they would just put people in there if they had like
Yeah, that's
depression
exactly what this is.
or were gay. Um, which also reminds me, like, girlies, like, wake up. Like, if they're thinking about just rounding out people who they think are
That's
homeless.
exactly what I was gonna say. Like, what is that? Like, I think about, for example, I think about autistic people, just like, for
Mhm.
example, and if, for example, my child was just roaming the streets, right? Or a lot of autistic kids and autistic adults like elope, right? Like they run away or they're lost. Like what is going to stop them from, you know what I mean? Or not just autistic people, but anybody from being rounded up and like forcing you against your will because you were out or you were in a place you weren't supposed to be or for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm thinking about elders too who wander.
Mhm.
Like, this is a can of worms. And if they can just decide again in the same way that they can just decide that you are an illegal immigrant, quote unquote, they can also decide that you're homeless, that you're houseless, which was
Or that you have a mental disability or that you're
yeah,
unwell.
which was actually an argument that Sotomayor made in the Supreme Court ruling against homeless people, where they couldn't decide like what the parameters of like camping or being outside were. And she was like, at this point, you're condemning people who are stargazing to being criminalized as homeless.
Mm.
Um, and same with this, they can decide who fits into what category so that it can incarcerate you. And then once incarcerated, not only are you like, you're disappeared, as Angela Davis would put it, but you're also now like providing free labor to corporations. Because what are they going to have you do in these places, right? These are, especially the mental institutions that they're thinking about, like it's going to be like a one size fits all type of care where they're not going to be attentive to individual needs. And
Mhm.
people are just going to be screwed over and be made into just more laborers, which is fucking terrifying.
Exactly. Yes.
Um, that said, I believe the House of Representatives is going on a break until September. Uh, and this was done essentially to make oh my God, make the court not talk about the Epstein files. Um, And in case you didn't know, like Jeffrey Epstein, like this notorious like billionaire who ran a pedophile ring for like the elite, uh, was incarcerated and condemned to like hella life in prison, and then quote unquote killed himself. And had like a little black book where all these people who were rich and famous and powerful were like where they were said to be there, and also included like flight logs between his like private jets and his private island. And is like has been known to have called Epstein a close friend of his. There's countless photos of them together. There's multiple times where Trump like praises Epstein. Um, and now that like these files are being like requested for public knowledge, not only are they shut down, but they're being blocked by different branches of the government so that they're not in the public. Um, Things are happening like Trump accusing the Obama administration, out of all people, of doctoring the documents. And it's like all of a sudden Democrats are like super powerful when it comes to destroying Trump's reputation, but like they couldn't even win their own election.
I don't think we're ever going to see those files.
Yeah, and even then, even if they come out, like what is it gonna take for his followers to like actually give a shit? Like I think throughout human history, maybe like being a pedophile has been like the worst thing, right? And if Trump is, we all know he's in these papers and he's said fucked up shit. Like, I remember it was during our lifetime when he said that if Ivanka wasn't his daughter, he would fuck her. Like, this is during our lifetime. And she was like a very young girl too at that age. I think it was because the question came up because she was, uh, people were saying that she was sitting inappropriately on his lap. And then that quote came out of him. Um, so we know this about him. His followers probably like deep inside know this about him as well. Do you think this is actually going to change anything about what they think about him?
Absolutely not.
And like
I don't.
why?
Some people just don't care.
So what do they care about then? If it's like not protecting the children, which is supposed to be like their big thing.
Supposedly, I think the biggest thing is I don't even know. I I don't know.
Like how do you as a poor Christian person support this Trump who fiddles children? Like the billionaire class, the millionaire class even, like I get. He's looking out for your money, which at the end of the day is your God. But when you're a poor Christian person, like what is calling on you to do this? Support this maniac.
I think they hate marginalized people more
You think they hate
than anything.
brown and black people more than they love their children?
Yes, black people, trans people, queer people,
And like the funniest thing is like
immigrants, like everybody.
for a lot of these people, how often do you think they encounter a black person, a brown person, a trans person, queer person, immigrant?
Not a lot.
So then how do you even, it's just the unknown that they're afraid of. That has got to be such a claustrophobic experience. I don't know. It must
But
suck. Hmm?
no say.
I was just like, it must suck to be so ignorant. Like I remember, I don't know, my ignorant fear when I was a kid is I was afraid of drag queens. I started clubbing when I was like 15, and drag queens would always like scare me. And like, I didn't explore why until I started doing drag when I went to college. Um, and it was just because I was like so embedded were these like thoughts on like what gender was supposed to be that somebody that maybe broke my mind. Um, so I don't know if it's something like that. Um, but anyways, any last things?
No, not for me.
All right. So what is one thing that has made you less bitter?
I hate this question. My life is so boring. But I don't even, I'm like trying to
Did you
remember.
see the Chuck E. Cheese mascot? They got arrested in Florida.
I did. They don't have to take him like that. I don't know.
What's
I
made
think
you
right
more
now
bitter
I'm
then? And
um
has it been that rough a time that something's made you more bitter?
no, I
No.
think not necessarily.
Mm.
School's back, and while that brings up a lot of triggers for me, I think I'm just ready to go back into a routine because summer for me is just it's not. It's just there's no, you know, there's there's a routine, but not the one I need or I'm used to. So I'm glad. I don't want to say I'm glad school is back necessarily, but just getting back into a routine for me. Like I haven't gone to the gym in a while. I haven't, I've just been at home and I'm bored and I don't like that.
Hmm. Um, what's made me less bitter? Thank you for asking.
What
Have you
has made you less bitter?
um cleaning my house? Have I said that before?
Mm-mm.
I like cleaning my house.
That's crazy that you say that because I've been binge watching Hoarders
Oh my God.
because I used to watch that show when back in 2009 when it was like on, and
Yeah.
then I've run out of things to watch. So I don't know, I came across it and I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen this. And I just started watching it. And then
Yeah.
like I had to step away because it was giving me so much anxiety. And I was like, I'm gonna clean my, well, I have a routine to clean my house, but I was like, I need to do it now,
Yeah. Oh
like right
God.
now.
I used to watch Hoarders when I used to live in a trap house, essentially. And all my homies, when they were coming down, they would put on Hoarders to be like, okay, we're not as bad as these people. Um, yeah, kids, don't do drugs. Um,
Stop. It's not even about
no,
drugs.
it's not. It's more about depression, to be honest,
It's
and
like
anxiety.
OCD,
Yeah.
anxiety, trauma. It's just mental
Yeah.
illness.
Is that a girl that's like, I was gonna steal because that's what the American government does? Is she from Hoarders too?
I don't think
You know who
so.
I'm talking
I mean,
about?
I haven't seen an episode. I know what you're talking about, but I wouldn't think that's from Hoarders.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember one Hoarders where they like found like at least like one dead cat and like a pile of.
Oh, there's a few of those where they find a bunch of dead animals.
I feel like rodents and like insects are fine, but when you have like a house pet,
Cats and dogs, yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's people that specifically hoard animals.
Oh, drama.
And then there's some that it's just like they're hoarding other things, but they have pet. I don't know. It's a why is there like there's like 16 seasons?
Because it's trauma porn.
Okay, I should
Go
stop
watch
watching.
Adults on Hulu. That one's pretty
Ad
good.
Adults?
Yeah, you might like it. Maybe. It is kind of wholesome though, but still kind of raunchy. It's
Is
like
it
it's like
like a
Gen
documentary?
Z Friends.
Mm.
Oh, you don't want
I feel
narrative.
like I
You want
I feel like I
documentary.
feel like I've seen like I've seen a picture of
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty funny. Um,
Mm.
that's something that got me back into television. My friends were really like peer pressuring me to watch that and overcompensating. Uh, another like it was well, overcompensating was more of a millennial show, but
I've
Adults
never
was
even
really
heard
good.
of I've
And
never heard of overcompensating.
it's not that great. Adult is really good though. It's like Friends for the Gen Z era. They
Hmm.
have
Okay.
they tackle things like medical debt and joblessness and like
Okay.
dating in the post Me Too era
Hmm.
and using woke, quote unquote, for like social capital,
Hmm. Okay.
but in very, very, very funny ways. Yeah. Um, yeah, and that's it for me. All right, guys, thank y'all for joining us.
All right. See you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Before you leave us, though, shout out to Fernando P, Selena P, Miranda E, Ronnie L, and Bianca G in our I Know Her level Patreon. So go support us on Patreon, y'all. It really keeps this thing going. All right. See y'all.